This is Bryan Murawski filling in for Gary. Exodus 6:20. Vayikach Amram et Yocheved, dodato lo laisha, vateled lo et Aharon ve'et Moshe, ushnei chaye Amram shiva ushloshim umat shana. And Amram took Jochebed, his aunt, for himself as a wife. Ew. And she bore to him Aaron and Moses. And the years of the life of Amram were 7 and 30 and 100, so 137 years. Now, after 6 verses without any verbs, we finally, hooray, have a verb. And actually, we have 2 verbs in this one verse. So we're going to focus in on those 2 verbs and take a look at what it has to say. In this case, our first verb is vayikach, and that comes from lakach, to take. This acts as even though the lamed is in the beginning, it acts as a pay noon verb in that the noon assimilates into the second root letter. So the lamed in this case would assimilate into that second root letter, and everything else kind of acts and inflects in the normal way. So this is a great example because lakach you're going to see all over Scripture, and it acts as that pay noon verb. And in this case, we have a call Vav consecutive, imperfect, 3ms. Our second verb here, vateled, comes from the word yaled. And here we see a pay yod verb. And this is again another textbook example. The yod is going to drop out, and you're going to notice its remnants right here in the tsere. So it drops out, but you do have a tsere in that opening letter after the vav. And here, again, it inflects. This is only in the imperfect, mainly in the imperfect that this happens. And here we have a call vav consecutive imperfect, but in this case, it's a 3fs, she bore, because men don't bear children. And looking at our genealogy, we see that once again, the chart continues to trace through the line of Levi, through the line of Kohath, and in this case we were wondering which one of the 4 kids of Kohath that genealogical line would trace through, and we find out it's Amram. We know that because you have the 137 years that are mentioned here, just like with Levi and Kohath, and he had 2 kids, Aaron and Moses, whom we all recognize and we know.